Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Let me try something. Ha, there we go. Um, get my hat on straight or crooked. First of all, I want to check the sound. Make sure the sound's working okay. And what we're going to talk about. Hey, Alex, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Sound okay today? Everything working all right? Everything's okay. Great. Hi, Junior. Big Sal. Hi, Big Sal. Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Mr. Gumby. What's up, Graham? Afternoon. Here it is early in the morning. Okay. Hi, VJ. How you doing, David? Dom. Hi, Dominic. Steve. Good to see you guys. Little buffering. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at my thing up here. There may have a little buffering today. That I don't know what makes it do that. Okay, great. Okie doke. I don't know. It's earlier. I don't know why the thing is like that. Anyway, um, what I wanted to talk about is this. Let's say that you find a really, really, really great watch deal on a watch that you very much want. You've wanted for a long time, but it's just like up there in the stratosphere. And one day you're minding your own business, but this is a watch that's always on what I call scan. On Friday's video, I was talking about adding some watches to a scan. And I ran across one that was very much one I've always wanted, but it's always been way above what I could afford. Now, when I see something that I sort of can afford, okay, and I'd have to do a number of different things. What is the best strategy in terms of saving, not getting in big trouble or anything? What do you have any of you ever run across that? You see this watch that is within what I call hand grenade range. Hey, Tuna. What would be a good strategy for that? Sitting here, this is my first cup of coffee. I just panicked. That's always my first solution too, Graham. I panic first. Tone is breaking. Doggone it. I wonder what that thing is. I think afterwards, before this afternoon, I'm going to shut it all down and restart the whole thing. See if I can do that. Make an offer. What if they accept the offer? What are you going to do then, Tuna? This is one of those things. I mean, this is already on sort of a. We're already on an unbelievably low ball to begin with. What do you do then? I mean, in other words, if this is something that it's pretty clear that they want to unload, but they don't want to unload it. I mean, but they're not going to be unreasonable about. How you doing, Rancher? Hey, Big Sal. For this last mile, I look to sell my least worn timepieces. This is what my solution is. Um, that'll take a while though. This is something here's sort of the mindset that I have. I was going to gather up some watches, send them to the auction, and then wait for the auction and then wait to get paid. Sometimes it'll take like 45 days after an auction. On the other hand, my type of collection isn't something I can turn over quickly. If I were like a Rolex collector or even Patek Philippe collector, that'd be a little easier. Um, the watches that I would sell are all great watches, but they would take. That's how come I like to go to an auction. You get better. You get as a seller, you get better prices usually, especially for this kind of watch. I mean, for the kind of watches I had in mind. Now, here's another alternative: is sort of like quote borrow from yourself, not taking out a loan. I'm talking about borrowing from your own resources and then paying back once you get all the sales done. But then I'm thinking, man, that's dangerous. You know, hey, oh, but yeah, I guess some knuckle draggers and give them an offer they can't refuse. I got a feeling they got a lot of offers they can refuse. Hey, Steven, is that a coffee cup or a cereal bowl? My goodness. What do you want? One of those little bitty teacups for a coffee cup? This is my coffee cup. I mean, when you're serious about coffee. Morning from the car to the airport. Now, which way you going, Michael? Are you heading for home? Or are you heading to or from Florida? Brand specialist, yeah. Hey, Brian, espresso cup. There you go. What do they call those? There's a name for a little cup. I sold my 911 to buy a Cartier. Oh, there you go. South. Ah, okay. I know where you're going. Back to the land of, well, you're in the land of sunshine now, probably. You go from sunshine to sunshine, Michael. Sold your 911 to buy a Cartier Normal. You know, a few years ago, there was a Cartier, oh God, Folade or something. It was one of those Cartiers that looked like it had been crushed. It wasn't a crash. Crashes are cool ones too, but this one was even more mangled, but it worked perfectly. And it was like 40,000. Now they're well over 100,000. You know, you gotta sunshine to jungle. Hey, John. Beautiful day in Miami, 73 degrees. Yeah, Michael. That's probably what I'm gonna have to think about. Hi, Jose. How you doing? I'll look for a cheaper alternative. No, this would be a Grail watch. This is something there is no alternative for. I do that on a lot of other watches, but I don't know. Hey, Stephen, there's a certain Grail you're referring to. My Grail changes weekly, so I always wait for another week. You know, that's not a bad idea. It's also this one has been sort of one of those long time grails that is sort of like, yeah, you're looking way up there. You said, nah, that'll never happen. But boy, would this is a watch I'd really like to have. And I don't know. The only thing about my taste is that not everybody has the same taste, and so people selling it probably have a hard time too. Hi, Watchdog. I consolidated watches to buy my Moser Endeavor at a great pre-owned price. Only way I ever was going to get one. And yeah, I tell you, Watchdog, that's probably it. I like to have no more than two of any one type, like two FP Jordans and two H Mosers, two Parmigianis. But let's say that a really good buy on something, a super good buy on an FP Jordan came along, then I could justify selling one to get the other one. That may happen. I don't know. I I like my CS so much that I don't think I'd ever want to sell it. And the same thing with my when I want to buy a new house or a small country, I'll sell the residence. Instead of a motorbike. There you go. Watches are not like Pokemon. You cannot collect them all. No, you can't. Yeah, Michael, there's that. I found out that I can develop new sentimental values though. Hi, Miguel. My grill is a large datograph. Yeah, those are nice. I just buy it instantly. Yeah, I tell you, believe me, there's a temptation to do it. It's sort of one of those things that I've got certain other, I got too many other commitments right now. Um, we've got, I got my second LaRique paid off and starting on the third one. What else do I got? Uh, I don't know. It's one of those things. It may be something I can figure out how to do, but I think the way to do it is you got to sell some watches you really like, or it would be hard to part with. I think I may do that. That's what I may end up doing, especially with the ones I just don't wear, even really good ones. We had over 13 inches of rain. Oh my God. Rain yesterday in my Florida Keys home. The chickens in the Publix parking lot are now ducks. You got what? You live in the Florida Keys. PayPal has 6 months no interest. Yeah, Dominic. Yeah, I just can't really justify going in for a loan to buy a watch. It's funny because I don't mind doing it with a credit card, which is in a way a loan, but I always pay that off at the end of the month, so I don't get any fees on it. I don't know. It's one of those things that I tell you, one of you guys said something. Wait a week and there'll be another Grail that comes along, and that's true. But this one probably won't come along for a long time. Yeah, changing, sort of like changing. Never mind. I better not say what I was thinking. Yeah, I couldn't believe that, Michael. Yeah, Larique was. Yeah, I was very surprised to see that. Very, very happy, with delighted to see it. None of us, at least I don't know anybody who knew ahead of time we were going to be on that list, but I'm very happy we were. I think deservedly so. When you stop and think about what what we got, I'm very happy with that. Wait a minute, South Florida, Nate Dog, are you Are you on a wild and crazy student break? Rain in South Brazil too. Yeah, we had rain last night. We've had this crazy weather that we had freezing, got up and there was frost everywhere. And then yesterday, the last 2 days were really good. We had to have some painting done. We put in a new front door, a whole big thing along with a portico, and everything was painted on the outside except one part that had to be painted before winter set in. And our painter found a sort of there was sort of like a little break that was just enough so it could get painted before it got too cold, and so we made it. Is there some way to trick oneself out of what seems like a value pick when the price is much lower than the others on the market? Um, you know, that I've learned, Rods, that so many things that we don't see influence the price of a watch. I mean, you can have someone who somehow desperately has to sell a watch. You have all kinds of things going on that will lead to a really good deal. Or something like I bought when I bought in what was called the Asian crisis. It was because of a government edict in China that cut off access to a lot of Swiss watches because some of them were being used as bribes, and so as a result, they were all sent back. And I happened to be there. The rancher and I ran into this incredible deal on these Urban Jurgensens just by dumb luck, and this was right at the time that Kari Voutilanen had bought uh, Urban Jurgensen, and there were a bunch of them available that Federico had been given the, I guess, franchise or whatever you'd call it, to sell all of the remaining stock of Urban Jurgensen watches. And by the time we got there, they were, there weren't as many as there had been, but we got there just in time. So you have things like that, and I don't know. It's Roger. I suppose it's not a bad idea to say, "How come this is such a good deal?" I don't think it's sometimes it's the wrong question. Like, what if they say, "What? You mean this is cheap?" Well, I'm going to charge you more then. So I'm careful what you say. Okay. Oh, hey, listen. If Florida is going underwater, that's slowly. God, Miami's spending a fortune to put the water out, but in a few years, there may be sort of the whole state may be a large wading pool. When I lived in Florida, it snowed once, and I mean, the so flat. The only place that kids could go to take their sleds was a freeway overpass where it was up and go down the slide. But we want everybody to be in good shape. Oh, well, you got an incoming. That's nice. Visiting our daughter at the University of Kansas brought my most recent Grail gold and steel black dial Rolex Sky Dweller. Sky Dweller is a nice watch. That's one's got some. I like the Sky Dweller. They've got some interesting horology inside of that one. Yeah, that's a neat watch. I that's that one and the Yachtmaster 2, which I think they deep six, but those two, I think both have really interesting horology in them. Some good deals are watches that were gift watches that were never worn. Dominic, that is so, so true. Sometimes you can find those in pawn shops. I got a great deal on a Vacheron Constantin 1972 from a pawn shop, and the guy didn't know as much as your typical watch seller knows. And I think the guy he bought it from knows even less. Somebody passed away, and that was in sort of the thing. So he takes it to a pawn shop, and the guy at the pawn shop probably gave him, next to nothing for it, and then tripled the charge to sell it to me, which was still a good deal. Yeah, that's if you find someone. Sometimes they have these estate sales, but if an estate sale goes through an auction house, those guys in the auction house know down to the penny what a watch is likely to sell for. Hey, Truman, the thing with Grail gold posts keep moving. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true. I got this one has been, I mean, if you've had one for a long time and there's a certain point where you figure never going to have it. And all of a sudden it pops up within sort of, like I said, within hand grenade range of what you could afford. And then you think, well, I got this and I got that. And then Christmas is coming. Forgot about that. And then I got to I got a dental bill I got to pay. And then, so then we just finished paying off for it. Get the new Chronergy Cal 9002. Chronergy. Is that by Universal Geneve, or I'm not sure about that one. Ah, Michael, great idea. Hey, Nate got somebody. Here's your gold watch. I gotta sell this thing. What am I gonna do? I got my Apple Watch. Who needs one of these antiques? Hey, Lee, how's it going? Yeah, something out of the garden in your case, Lee. How about a tree? Trade it for, give it to you for a tree. I don't know. I mean, let me tell you sort of the level of this grail. It's not this. Let's say that you are minding your own business one day and somebody pops up with a Dufour Simplicity for sale for a price that is over the limit, but you can do it. I mean, it's sort of like some people say, well, how could you pass that up? I mean, if things are worth millions, well, yeah, I feel the same way. If I had a watch, it was to my dear Martha, or something like that, I'd wear it. As long as it was on the back. But the thing is, most of the ones there's no room for engraving. Or a picture of their late dog, or there's all kinds of things people can have. I don't know. To me, they're just interesting. But I agree with Michael. Is that you can always use that to get the price down. Say, oh, that's the same as scratches and gouges at the airport. Safe holidays. Have a good trip, Michael. Back engraving shouldn't be an issue anymore with laser technology. It can be eliminated if it bothers you. Yeah, there's that too. Usually though, in the back, about the only place you can have that would be, have engravings around here, something like that. I guess, you have, one of my favorite watches has a couple of my favorite watches, as a matter of fact, have a solid back. My Equation of Time, Longines and my, Fabergé, Alexi both have solid backs. They could write whatever they want. They could put somebody gives a watch. Here's here's a manifesto. I don't care. Yeah, you do. Um, yeah, I guess they pop up. This is another thing too, and I think Nate Dogg points a good one is that it's and somebody also another point that was made years ago for me was that the last great deal hasn't been done yet. And so there's always something, well, maybe something will come along. You never know. You sort of bide your time and then if something that really affordable comes along, then you can grab it. But I do want to I think I'm gonna unload some watches and go from there. Hi, Burl. Yeah, yeah. Good. I glad to hear that, Bert. Um, yeah, we have I don't know, talking about the same watch all the time gets sort of dull. I'm glad we could have this conversation. Um, there's okay, so I don't know. I think probably what I'm going to do is sort of contact Sotheby's and see what I can sort of set up and try to get the nearest one that I can and see what happens. Right. Dominic, right. I'll meet I'll go meet Tony. We'll take care of you. Hey Rancher, what engraving would make it totally unacceptable? Oh, there's some that would be. Some would give me the creeps. Yeah. Yeah, Nate, that's what I was thinking, something like that. Okay. Congratulations on your your entry into the SS or something. Hey, Richard, be careful with the auction houses. Some dodgy dealings recently, allegedly. Yeah, I tell you, the ones I like, Richard, are sort of Christie's, Phillips, and Sotheby's. But you're right. There's all kinds of things like that going on. What percent during below the asking price? V-Raj, I've had it it depends on a person's situation. There was this one watch that I offered them half for, and they took it. That was, I mean, it's one of the things. The less you want to watch, and the more you sort of think that maybe I shouldn't get it, the more likely they're going to accept a low ball. One of my favorite watches, I forgot what my Alexi. that was way, way below um, what what I had offered. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, I tell you, the only offer I think anybody should ever make is one that they can't afford. Should never make an offer um and then have the offer accepted and then, oh well, I changed my mind, I can't, you know, I'd never deal with that person again who pulled that kind of stuff. So I think that if you do have that, then gotta go. Rancher tells me my time is up, the jig is up, so I've got to gotta have to shuffle on, guys. Can always try consignment with a TPG. Yeah, Richard, I'll do that. I'll get I'll I'll take care of that right away. Anyway, guys, thanks for dropping by, and I'll be back at 4 this afternoon, and I will consult with a rancher what would be a really good topic that we can talk about. Take care and be safe.